Hello, welcome to my channel and welcome to Lucid's Advanced Manufacturing Plant in Casa Grande, Arizona. Today is Tuesday, February 4th, 2025. We're going to do a full fly around of the factory starting at the north end, going to the south, and then moving along the south side from east to west. If you want to just see the close-ups of the cars in the staging lots, go to the 3-minute and 37-second mark. We're looking at body in white in the foreground here, stamping in the background on the right, and paint in the background on the left. And then as we move further to the south, we'll see the general assembly areas, powertrain and drivetrain assembly areas, all within the large building here on the south side of the paint shop, and of course the conveyors between the buildings. We got some interesting news from Motor Intelligence about January vehicle registrations. So there were 615 Lucid Airs registered in the US in January. That is up 40% from 439 that were registered in January of 2024. Also, there were 50 Gravity registered in January of 2025. I'm aware of the 9 deliveries on December 29th, but I would have thought those would have been December of 2024 registrations rather than January. So kind of curious, since we really haven't seen many Gravity at the factory, where the other 50 have gone, or if those are just registrations that have been grabbed and will be attached to vehicles or grabbed once a VIN was assigned, but the vehicle hasn't been completed manufacturing yet. So it'll be interesting to keep an eye on that as we get closer to wider production and wider deliveries to more customers. There on the right is the lot that's been used to do demos with Gravity, showing its performance with rear wheel steering, and the tire marks that are left there. This is the staging lot on the east side. Now we're looking to the north, still looking at that staging lot as we fly to the west along the south side of the factory. It's a beautiful day here in Casa Grande. It's about 75 degrees, light winds, beautiful clouds, perfect day to be flying. As we start to get into the staging areas, we're starting to see a lot of open space on this middle, what I'll call the middle staging lot. And then as we get to the further west one, there will be more cars, but still a fair amount of open spaces in it. And as usual, there's a couple of car haulers here and cars lined up waiting for additional car haulers. I'm assuming by the end of the day, all of these cars will have been loaded up onto car haulers and moved away to delivery centers. Just a close-up of the car haulers and some of the activity around the car haulers. So this is a close-up of the staging lot. This lot last time had quite a few cars in it. It's completely empty now. So we get further to the south. This one had even more cars on January 17th, but just a couple rows of cars. I'll show a January 17th still photo here just for comparison. You can see a lot fewer cars in this east staging lot than what we had in January. This is again flying to the west, a close-up of the east staging lot. And you can see the chain link fence here dividing the employee parking from the staging area on both the lots that are used for staging. That is not a Gravity up there, and going back into the factory area, had to do a close-up to make sure. Again, lots of open spaces here in this middle staging lot on the west side of the factory. And as we get further to the west, this next staging lot has a fair amount of open spaces, but it's fuller than the others. And I'll show some comparison pictures here in just a second. And so this is the center or the more eastern of the two western staging lots. And this is the one further to the west. You can see it's almost completely full here, and now it is not. I took some pictures up around the test track and the wash area just to see what sort of activity was going on. The amount of activity today is very reminiscent of the activity that I saw just before the Christmas holidays, and seems to have ramped up from January 17th, the last time I was here. I'm not sure what the protocol here is, whether they periodically clean the cars to keep the dust off the cars in the staging lots, or whether they're cleaned prior to loading onto the car haulers and being sent out to the delivery centers and studios. Of course, we have some cars coming in and out of the factory. That large door in the background there is the entrance to and from the factory. Some of the cars, and I assume those are the recent production cars, make a couple of circuits around this little test track to look for vibration issues, suspension issues, etc. that might occur. It's kind of fun to see all of this activity. I have not heard anything about my specific gravity order, when I might expect to be able to take delivery. I have also not heard when the Scottsdale Design Studio is expected to have a gravity for test drive. I hope to hear that soon, because I'm anxiously awaiting more word on my gravity. We did get some information on gravity charging this week, and that the gravity will charge at 400 kilowatts on a 1,000-volt station. It will charge at 225 kilowatts on a 500-volt Tesla supercharger. So quite outstanding charging numbers expected for gravity. And of course, it was announced that on the 31st of January, the Lucid Gravity now has access to the Tesla supercharging network. So that's another big plus for Gravity, having the native NACS port and the access to the Tesla supercharger network, and the ability to charge at 225 kilowatts sustained at the Tesla supercharger. Hopefully, as Tesla rolls out the 1,000-volt chargers, will, with Gravity, be able to charge at 350 to 400 kilowatts at Electrify America or Tesla chargers. So great progress for Lucid on that front. And that's it for today, so thank you for watching.